took that.
Marcus Ambrose 10 laps away from becoming the 13th driver to score his first career win on a road course.
I'd like to know what they did under that pit stop. You know, on the 47 car, because they obviously made that car better. Whatever they did.
Whether it was air pressure, I didn't see him put any wedge in it or anything.
Matt Yoakum could let us know what they did on that pit stop.
And an air pressure change on that last stop. Now, when you look at Marcos Ambrose, he's got a home here in America and a home in Australia, and there's a huge party going on at his place. Family and friends all go to his house to watch the NASCAR races. His only complaint, they drink all of his Australian beer, and they usually use up the LP gas in his grill. On their feet, hoping this could be the day route that he scores his first NASCAR Sprint Cup win. He's got a 2-second lead.
Well, he's got more than that, too, Matt, and that's the fact that Jimmy Johnson is doing everything he can to conserve those rear tires. Chad Knaus wants him to think big picture. They're racing for a championship, not just a win here today. And Chad said, I would much rather come out of here, Matt, with a second place and a lot of points than using up those tires just trying to get a win.
The last thing Marcus Ambrose wanted to see, a 2-second lead, 8 to go, and a chance to get your first victory, and now you got to endure another restart with Jimmy Johnson right beside you.
Yeah, and that's going to be, you know, we've seen Jimmy win a couple of races this year within the last 5 or 10 laps, just on the restart, just being in the right place. And if Jimmy has truly saved his rear tires, then that may be something that's going to play into their hands. But you know, Marcus was really walking on him a little bit right there. Yeah,
but I think Jimmy's going to have to force the issue on this restart. He can't let Ambrose get away if he's going to have a shot at it.
Yeah, Jimmy can't do like he did a minute ago. And look, I know if he's racing big picture, okay, that's a whole nother deal. But, you know, Jimmy had position on him down in turn 4A. And kind of backed off on that after that one restart when they all got bunched up there and let him go. And then I thought he was going to come back on him, but Marcos just drove away from him. I'm telling you, the 47 car, he's been impressive, especially when he got out front. You can't take anything away from that team. And they rose to the occasion on that pit stop and on their calls and on their strategy.
I think he might be a little bit more aggressive in this situation. Only because I think the 40. Uh-oh. What's going on here?
Ambrose stopped on the track.
Yeah. Unless he's lost a gear. This is going to be interesting. Could get it cranked. He's saving fuel and couldn't have got to the top of the hill and couldn't get it cranked. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's why happens.
Because the motor's off right here.
Yeah.
Now he'll probably.
Yeah. Larry.
What do you think, Larry?
Hey, guys, there's no reason he should have to save fuel. He pitted on lap 80. That's 30 laps. Unless they're just banking that we might end up with 3 green, white checkers, they should be in great shape, especially with these cautions. I have no idea why they'd be trying to save fuel.
I don't think he's going to do that again.
Yeah, he was. I'm telling you, man. He let it roll around the corner and start up the hill and couldn't get it fired because he was on an angle. You know what I mean?
You're right. NASCAR may not go for him doing that and losing those spots and then going back up there.
I can't, you know, it's one of those deals that we got into a couple years ago, Larry. Remember, you got to maintain a speed.
Exactly.
And he stopped in the middle of the racetrack.
If they let him go back up there, they just gave him a mulligan.
Yeah, they did. I agree with that. I agree with that.
Jimmy Johnson riding second as we sit right now on track, and more on him with Ralph.
Well, Chad Knaus, the NASCAR official here, talking about what they can do, and it looks like he just got a gift. He just said, Chad Knaus said, you just got the gift for the day. That's it. It looks like Marcus was not allowed to go back to his spot.
Yeah.
So that is absolutely huge.
That is very big, but that is the rule.
That's the rule. We got into that a couple of years ago at a couple of guys trying to get to the end of the race, starting and stopping, who beat who back to the line, who was this, and that's the rule. Marcus started around the corner here, and when he did, the car was cut off. When he coasted up there, it would not fire. He had to pull over. They went around him. He lost positions. You have to maintain speed. That's in the rule book.
See the NASCAR officials also down in the 47 camp. Obvious disappointment.
That's a huge mistake.
for them, but you know, you can't argue this rule.
No, I'm not arguing the
rule.
rule. I'm just saying that's a huge mistake.
Oh, absolutely. No question.
You can't.
No question.
And don't get me wrong. We've seen some strange stuff here. Jeff Gordon getting passed on the racetrack or on pit road by the 42.
Yep.
It's explainable. We can go back. They can explain it. You know, the teams can explain it. The drivers can explain it. Some of this stuff is explainable. This is explainable also. Okay, there is a rule. You have to maintain fuel. He cut the thing off and let it stop.
And I'll bet you that Marcos doesn't know the rule.
Yeah, no, he doesn't.
He does not know that rule.
Yeah, look, drivers don't know rules.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, that's just the way it is. You just know, okay, so there's 1 car, 2 cars, 3 cars passing, really 3, almost 4 cars passing. He should be back somewhere in that area. Now, it's going to be interesting to see where they set him up if he's 5th or 6th.
They're putting him behind Casey.
And Casey Kane was 7th. Phil?
You know, guys, this may be one of the biggest mistakes we've seen since Mark Martin pulled down pit road on the last lap in a Busch race at Bristol. And Kyle, I disagree. You are supposed to know the rules.
Yeah,
Marcus Ambrose is supposed to know that he has to maintain caution speed.
Yeah, look, I'm not saying you're not supposed to know the rules. I said I don't know the rules. That's what I'm saying, Phil. No, you're exactly right. And you know, there's certain rules that all drivers know. I mean, from being in your pit box and how things work. And there's certain, you know, we laughed about it during the All-Star event this year, that the drivers didn't know what the segments were, how it was going to work, invert, not invert, how they didn't care. They just go out and run as hard as they can lap after lap. And a lot of times that's the driver's mentality. You just go and drive the wheels off of it. And that's what he's done today. He has driven the wheels off of it. And now he's going to be beat by a technicality, or stands a shot of getting beat. You know, it's kind of like, I'm not a soccer fan. I'll go on record and say it, but the World Cup and the final call and bringing back that the third goal the other day, which was a 2-2 tie. Sorry, man. That's just the rules. That's the way it works, man.
He's way out of his element.
I have no idea what he's talking about. You know what? Should stop while you're behind.
You know why
right
they
now.
play soccer in Europe and not here? Never mind. I'm not going to answer that question. Go to Kyle's Corner and you'll find out. NASCAR.com.
Your name's Kyle Petty, not Pele.
I didn't say it was, man. But I'm going to tell you what, I agree with Phil. That may be one of the biggest mistakes since Mart pulled in. You know what I mean? I mean, that is huge for a driver to make a mistake like that and take himself that far out of the race.
Yeah, you've got, what, we got 5 laps to go. And the guys he's got to pass are no slouches right now.
Ambrose will restart 7th. Jimmy Johnson, the race leader. Robbie Gordon, the 2nd. Greg Biffle, Kevin Harvick, Kurt Busch, the top 5. And last year's race winner and pole sitter today, Casey Kane, restarting in the 6th position.
And he's starting next to 24, who's been a weapon all day.
Yeah, he has been a little bit of that.